There's a strange thing everyone has witnessed but rarely stops to analyze. The same event happens, and people react as if they were watching entirely different movies. One person feels crushed, another shrugs it off, a third quietly thinks, interesting, this might work in my favor. It's not because they lived through different events, it's because they interpreted the same event differently. And that interpretation, not the event itself, is what decides how people feel, what they do next, and sometimes where their life goes. Humans don't live in raw reality. We live inside a director's cut produced by our own brain. Take a job reassignment. One employee hears, "I've been demoted." Another hears, "They're testing me for something bigger." A child gets a low grade. One inner voice says, "I'm stupid." Another says, "Okay, clearly my study method needs an update." Someone declines a collaboration. One interpretation, "They don't respect me." Another, "They probably have different priorities right now." Same event, different narration, completely different emotional outcomes. Your brain isn't a neutral security camera recording facts. It's more like an overenthusiastic intern who hates silence and rushes to fill in every blank. When information is missing, the brain supplies assumptions. When motives are unclear, it invents explanations. And unfortunately, it often uses old emotional templates as reference material. If someone was harshly judged in the past, feedback today feels like an attack. If someone was trusted and supported, feedback feels like coaching. So here's the uncomfortable truth. Your emotions don't say much about the world. They say a lot about the lens you're wearing. The real danger begins when you forget you're wearing one. At that point, every interpretation feels like an objective fact. And once someone decides the world is against me, they start behaving as if that's proven science. They withdraw, they defend, they stop taking initiative. Meanwhile, the world is just existing, not plotting, not conspiring, probably busy arguing with its own Wi-Fi. To change outcomes, you don't always need to change circumstances. Sometimes you just need to change the story you're telling about them. Not to sugarcoat reality, not to force optimism, but to make the story more accurate. To separate what actually happened, what you felt about it, and what conclusions you rushed into at 2 a.m. Because every action you're about to take starts with a story you believe. And in the end, you're not reacting to events. You're reacting to the version of those events your mind decided to premiere.